Wild Robot is a new DreamWorks animated movie directed by Chris Sanders, written by Chris Sanders and Peter Brown, starring Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, Kit Connor, Bill Nighy, Stephanie Hsu, Matt Berry, Ving Rhames, and Mark Hamill and Catherine O'Hara, and is a movie that follows the story of a robot who is far away from where she needs to be. It's kind of explained that humanity in this movie are like really advanced and they get like robots to do everything for them. She's kind of like a fish out of water. She's in the wilderness, completely abandoned by humankind. She slowly discovers who she is and she adopts a young duckling who she kind of mothers and gets him ready to migrate. But anyway, overall about the animation style of this movie, it is basically the same animation style as we first saw in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It kind of has that very it's 3D animated, but it kind of has a bit more of like a cel shaded look. It looks a bit more like the lighting's a bit more stylized. Even though it is completely 3D rendered, it does kind of have a bit more of like a almost sort of like a sort of comic book-ish effect, a bit more like a hand-drawn effect. And I really like it because like DreamWorks ever since like Shrek way back in 2001 all the way up to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish kind of went for this really, very realistic design, basically just trying to look like Pixar, making everything look very, very well lit, very well rendered with realistic lighting techniques and things like that. And I guess they wanted to make their work look a little bit more extravagant, a little bit more stylized, a little bit more emotional than all those previous films. And I do really like the way it translates into Wild Robot. And I actually think after seeing this might actually be one of the best DreamWorks movies that they've ever made, because I thought this movie was just magnificent. I also really liked the design of Roz. She's kind of like very round and very like burly. I really liked her eyes, how like if you looked inside her eyes you could like see all like the individual like sensor kind of like robotic rods and cones like reacting to the light around her. I thought that was like really detailed and really nice to look at, and it was a really good like personality like animation cue to get to see how she's feeling and things like that. Overall, just really good character design for the robot, as well as really good character design for all the animals in it too. There are humans in this movie too, and they're like really futuristic and they look really like alien to like what we look like now. But the humans aren't really supposed to be like a major focus point of this movie, since they're kind of like supposed to be like kind of like completely separated from nature at this point. So they're basically the villains of the story, if you can really say that. Just overall, the animation and the cinematography it achieves is really next level for almost any animation film. I mean, like, this is on par with my favourite DreamWorks movie of all time, How to Train Your Dragon 1, and I think it might beat it, but I am really thinking of whether this is actually my all-time favourite DreamWorks movie now, because I've only seen it once, but I was really impressed from what I saw. Just the whole wilderness aspect of it was really beautiful, and it was very colourful, and it was very lush, and it was very detailed, and very full of life. And it's incredible when 3D animation can really pull that off and make it look believable without making it look like something in real life, because this doesn't look like something that DreamWorks was previously doing, trying to make it look as hyper realistic and make it look like this is a more stylized. The second attempt in this new art style. I actually think the bad guys did it first, so maybe this is the third time they've gone with this animation style. But overall, many of these sequences in this movie are breathtaking. There's a flying sequence towards the end, which kind of made me feel the same way I felt when I first saw that flying sequence from the first How to Train Your Dragon all the way back in 2010 for the first time. It really was amazing, and the whole story of it was really well done as well. It kind of felt it reminded me a little bit of like WALL-E, of how like WALL-E was like made for like a specific purpose by humans, but WALL-E doesn't realise what he was made for and what the humans are really like until later in the movie. Much like in this movie, even though in a lot of ways it is a bit different. But overall, I really also liked the voice acting in this movie. The voice acting in this movie was incredible. I mean, like Lupita Nyong'o was really good as Roz, which is the name of the robot. Pedro Pascal as Fink the Fox was really good as well. I really liked him. I'm trying to think. And Kit Connor plays Bright Bill, who is the character of the little duckling that Roz raises, and Bill Nighy's name of Longneck, which is his father. And overall, it was it was a unique story, that's for sure. And I also heard that this movie is basically, which is DreamWorks' apology for Megamind 2. Now, I didn't watch Megamind 2, but I did really enjoy the first one in 2011. I heard a lot of bad things about Megamind 2, that it's like a disgrace, that it's just really laughably bad, and it's just like, compared to like DreamWorks' other movies, DreamWorks should have known better than to make a movie that bad. But overall, I think I'm definitely going to forgive DreamWorks now for the Wild Robot, because this was definitely just I'll say like an animated masterpiece. I think it's really that good, and it was just a delight from start to finish, and I really enjoyed this movie. Overall, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend that you go see it if you love DreamWorks and you love animation. Anyway, so that's my opinion on The Wild Robot. I really do highly recommend that you go see this film. It only has like 16 reviews so far on IMDb, which is funny because the movie's been out for just over a week now, so I do hope more people are going to see this movie, because it's definitely worth it. But anyway, thanks for watching my video as always. You're awesome, and as always, take care. Thank you.